Bezrat Hashem, B'zchut Rabbi Pinto, B'zchut Shabbat Kodesh, that now we're going to start. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us big bracha, tzlacha, and big b'siyata d'shmaya for the week to come. Amen. You know, Botai, this week's Parasha opens up with HaKadosh Baruch Hu asking Avraham one of the biggest challenges that Avraham had to face with. The Torah says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu came to Avraham, and what did he ask him? Lech lecha mi'artzecha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Avraham, get up, leave your country, leave the home of your father, leave the place that you grew up your entire life, and go to a place where I will show you, where I will guide you. Now, B'tai, the question could be asked, of why is it such a big challenge that Avraham needs to overcome? How many of us moved in our life? It's not that bad. Why is it the Torah makes it like such a big deal that it found it as important enough to come and to say this is one of the 10 challenges, the 10 tests that Avraham had to pass? They said that we all moved at some point from one place to the other. Not all of us were born here in Los Angeles. We all came maybe from Morocco, from AT Israel. So what's such a big challenge about getting up and moving from one place to the other? So now about time, I was thinking, I also of course want to connect it to Sefirah. I was thinking maybe the Torah could teach us a big lesson from here. Maybe the Torah wants to teach us it's just about moving from one place to the other. Here HaKadosh Baruch Hu is coming to Avraham Avinu and asking from Avraham Avinu to not just move his location, but to move his habits. Where he tells him, you know, all the habits that you've till today learned to get used to, from where you picked up from the home of your father, which was Avodah Zarah, where you picked up from the country, Canaan, which, as we know, the people were wicked there, to the point where Avraham Avinu made Eliezer swear that he won't bring a lady from Canaan. So leave the customs and what you got used to from Canaan, leave the customs where you got used to until today, and from now on you are starting a complete new life of habits. That you know about a habit is one of the strongest things and one of the hardest things to overcome. You know about there's many places in the Gemara give us these examples of how strong a habit could become to the point where a person takes these habits with him up to Olam Haba. I mentioned many times, you know, Abotai, where it said in the Gemara about people that go to Gehenna. What happens every Shabbat? So as we mentioned in the Gemara, Shabbat, there it says every single Shabbat Hashem turns off Gehenna and he walks all those who sit in Gehenna the entire week. He makes a line and they march to 2 mountains of snow. And all the people their entire week, they're burning and skinning the entire week. Shabbat, they're able to go and to cover themselves with the ice, with the snow, to cool down the entire Shabbat. That's why it's a big segula to keep Shabbat another hour longer. Because if you add another hour longer of Shabbat, or if you start Shabbat 20 minutes before, an hour before, what you do is you give them a chance to rest for a longer time, and they bless you for that. That's why it's a big segula. So in any case, the Gemara says every single Shabbat, they go and they hide the entire Shabbat and they cover themselves with snow. Motzei Shabbat ends, Hashem makes that line and he marches them back to Gehenna. The Gemara says that a lot of the inhabitants that are actually not need to walk back to Gehenna, what do? They go, they take snow and they cover it in the palm of their hands and they try to steal it and to bring it to Gehenna. In order that throughout the entire week they'll have some ice where they'll be able to cool themselves. And the Gemara says that HaKadosh Baruch Hu looks at them and points and screams, you, when you were alive, you were a thief, and now that when you're not alive, you're a thief. So the question about that we all come to, how is that possible? How can a person that already went through judgment, that a person that's already in Olam Ha'emet, the world of truth, bring these habits of man, of material, of trying to steal, trying to take what's not yours? So maybe we can say, Abotai, that teaches you the power of habit. That habit is so strong that even a neshama that goes up to Olamot HaElyonim keeps those habits from down here. So you can see, Abotai, how something that we get used to can be strong. There's also a positive side to that. It's not just Chas v'Shalom negative. I mentioned that there's a Gemara. It says that one time a neshama came up to Gan Eden, this is in Sanhedrin if I'm mistaken, that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was sitting on his throne. The Gemara says that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, his chair is made out of 13 bricks of gold. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai was next to his chair, next to his throne in Gan Eden. And somebody came and said, whose chair is that? What a reward that man has. So it says that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, I don't know. I don't know who belongs to that chair. It's not mine, that's for sure. And all the Tanaim, all the Gemaras, they said, we don't understand. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, ye opposite, you should be proud. Any man that his entire life did Torah and mitzvot, that's the one thing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu allows us to be proud with, the reward that we receive. So how did Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, why would Rabbi Shimon, after he already left this world, still keep this concept of being humble, having humility? So what is the Gemara answer? The Gemara answers, it's because throughout his life he was used to being humble, so even when he went up he was humble. And now Gemara gives many other examples in different places. We see even that Tanaim were arguing with Hashem over halachot that have to do with skin, over the leprosy. That in Gan Eden they're arguing over the halachot that have to do with leprosy. So we say, I don't understand. They're in Gan Eden. What did it matter for them? They're in Gan Eden already. There's no concept of leprosy, so why are they studying it? So what did the Gemara answer? Because they were used to studying it while they were here, so they're continuing to study it there. So we see about our habit could be something strong, and it could be something that lasts not just a lifetime, but beyond a lifetime. Good habits bring endless reward. So when a person has a good habit, whether if it's like we said, an hour before Shabbat to start, a good habit to be extra happy on Shabbat, a good habit to make sure that the table of Shabbat is big shefa. A good habit lasts beyond a lifetime. But Chas v'Shalom, sometimes when we have strong habits that are not good, those are also the hardest things to overcome. So today, what I think we all need to put in stone is two things. First of all, find a good habit to start or to keep strong and to make it into a habit. Something that is natural, that even if you don't want, you do it. And second of all, today is Friday. You know about Friday, what Sefiah is on Friday? Yesod. What is Yesod? Tikkun HaBerit. The reparation of the Berit. You know about all the men that I speak to, especially that we do now. I started to speak about this in the Shurim. I think it's very important. So that's a habit that I'm not able to overcome. One of the hardest habits for a person to switch, to get up and to change direction, to start a new way of thinking. So my challenge, and this is what I see has been very effective lately, is to do what the Gemara mentions. The Gemara says that if a person walking in the street and he sees something that he's not supposed to be looking at, and he turns his head and he puts his head down to let it pass, a person like that is already a man that broke his habit, and he's already considered to be a tzaddik. And that is a challenge that we should all not pray for it, but if it comes, do it. So in the merit of making good habits and destroying bad habits, may HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us big bracha and atzlacha and b'siyata d'shmaya. And may this Shabbat that we will have will be so sweet with bracha that we will have a week full of bracha to come in.